Red button means we're live, a casual take with your boy Steven Pepper, here to give a take off my chest, okay? Talking live right after game one of the NBA Finals, so let's talk about it. Listen, I know series aren't won and lost after the first game, but I have a hard time believing that Dallas can win against four times without home court advantage against this Celtics team. And you can say, oh, Dallas has gotten blown out in pretty much every game won this postseason. That's kind of their thing. Yeah, that's true. But what's also true is this Celtics team is a whole different matchup. And I said coming in, a healthy Kristaps for Boston would just be too much of an advantage for Dallas. I mean, look at their starting five. Sorry, Boston would be too much of an advantage against Dallas. I mean, look at their starting five. Tatum, Brown, Holiday, White, Porzingis. That is five guys who can all go for 20 plus in a given night, create their own shot, knock down the long ball, and also play defense and provide versatility there. That is a complete talent mismatch. And Porzingis even came off the bench tonight. Many people wondered how valuable he'll be coming off an injury, and it was night and day. The Celtics instantly go on a 23-5 run, and Tatum only has 3 points in the first quarter. You're telling me your best player, 3 straight All-NBA first-team player, only has 3 points in the first quarter, has a sloppy game, and they're up at 29 at one point. That is what you call a talent mismatch. And I tried telling you guys, if you pick Dallas to win this series, you're going to be asking a lot out of them, even with Luka getting his own. Even with Luka getting his, to overcome Boston on both ends of the floor. And I don't know if, unless Luka and Kyrie have this crazy historic series, that they can win 4 games without home court advantage against this monster Boston team. And I texted my boy before this series. He's a Celtics fan. I was like, I'm going to take Celtics in 6, especially if Kristaps plays, because I think they're so much better than them. But I do need to see game 1 to truly buy into the Celtics. Because, I've been very critical about them to tell if they're, unserious or, they kind of play down their competition and KP being out's a big deal. My boy texts me back and he says, it's the latter. And he was right. And we saw last night that Kristaps Porzingis in the lineup completely changes the dynamic of the Celtics, puts them in a different stratosphere. For a majority of that game, outside of that bad, boneheaded stretch Boston went through in the third quarter where Tatum wasn't trying to take a shot and Boston could have hit it 3 to save their life, the Celtics looked like they were in a completely different tier than Dallas. Like they just had too much talent because Kristaps can stretch the floor and protect the rim. I mean, early in the game, it was clear that the Celtics were trying to get him going. They matchup hunted like he's Victor Wembanyama to get a guy a foot smaller than him so he can shoot the mid-range over him. And again, I know that series aren't won and lost after one game. It's a 7-game series. Just because you win game 1 doesn't mean they bring out the Larry O'Brien trophy. And Dallas has been notorious in this postseason run for not showing up in game 1s. They've been down in 3 out of the 4 game 1s in this postseason by at least 25 points or more in all those games I just mentioned. But this Celtics team isn't OKC, Minnesota, Clippers. This is a whole different monster. I mean, it wasn't an accident that the Celtics had a higher net rating than KD's Warriors. And I know a lot of people, go ahead and mock that stat. I see a lot of people mocking that stat. But I mean, look at their starting 5, Holiday, White, Porzingis, Tatum, all can go for 20 points in a given night. Space the floor, knock down the 3, space out that Dallas defense, a matchup they haven't seen. Then Hauser hits 3s off the bench, Horford, Pritchard. That's a head case. That's a lot to guard. That is a lot to guard. That's a lot to ask it. I mean, Kyrie tonight, 6 for 19. You have no margin of error. Kyrie, bro. You're my guy. You're in the poster in the back. I love you, bro. 12 points ain't going to cut it. The Mavericks have no margin of error for Kyrie to have a performance like that. Pete, you're asking a lot out of PJ Washington, Gafford, Lively, and Green, and these guys who don't really create their shots. They can't go band for band in a scoring match with Holiday, White, Porzingis. They can't. Luke and Kyrie can, but not your other role players. They can't do that, and Luka will get his. Again, I never agreed or took anyone seriously who thought that Tatum and Luka conversation was close. And if you watch tonight and still think that the Tatum and Luka debate is close, you might need to get your brain checked out. I'm sorry. Luka's clearly the best player in the series, and he got his. In his very first NBA Finals game, he had 30 and 10. He was great. But did you notice his assist? One of the best passers of the last 20 years has just one assist. Now, part of that is because his team wasn't making shots, like Kyrie going 6 for 19. PJ Washington, outside the first couple of games against OKC, can't even buy a 3 anymore. But Boston's defense is versatile. Those switches, they wouldn't allow Luka to get the drive and kick 3. They wouldn't allow Luka to get the lob to Gafford or Lively that he abused against Minnesota. Because look at the defensive versatility of Kristaps Porzingis protecting the rim, or White and Brown stripping Luka multiple times. I've never seen Luka get stripped that much, or Tatum stepping up big and playing some center minutes. The Celtics had the same amount of blocks in this game as the Mavericks did assists. Again, series are not won and lost in game 1. They're not. We still got a lot of series left. But again, I tried telling you guys, this Celtics team, if Kristaps is healthy and is on the floor, they're at too much of a talent advantage, I think, for Dallas to overcome. And if I were to give a game 1 overreaction, because it's just game 1, but it's fun to overreact to game 1. And my overreaction is that I don't think Dallas can win 4 games against this talented Celtics team because they're at such a disadvantage. But I appreciate everyone for coming in to this episode of A Casual Take. I'll be here next time for game 2 of the series for sure. My social media, Some Casual Takes for everything. And until game 2, or if another news topic comes up, see ya.